Now, what do you have to say for yourself?
Did I miss something?
Since we're here to gather flowers for the dead, I thought I'd teach Manfred some plant names. But I just caught him attempting to wade into a rose bush.
That must have been frustrating.
He knows he's not supposed to play in the horticulture. Oh, Manfred. Whatever will happen to you if I pass on?
If?
There's something I'd like to talk about. Do you know what a lich is, Rook?
Doesn't ring a bell.
A lich is a mage transformed into one of the undead while retaining their true, original consciousness. The idea fascinated me when I was younger. For years, I researched and experimented, spoke with spirits and mages. Then, eventually, I found them.
Who?
The Lich Lords of the Grand Necropolis. Necromancers before me who'd transformed themselves into true living dead.
Not everyone gets to meet their idols.
Oh, but I was nervous. The Liches are the great protectors of the Necropolis, bulwarks against forces that threaten creation. After years of tests and rituals, they granted me my desire, the right to attempt lichdom.
Hold on. If you become a lich, then all this flirting we've been doing...
I should hate to lose your company while I'm still mortal.
What would you being a lich be like?
A vast leap. Flesh cast aside for bone, returned immortal for all time.
So if we keep flirting afterward, you'll be a skeleton?
If we what?
I'm not ruling it out, just asking.
Oh, I'd inform you before making any decisions to... Well, questions of lichdom are... Lichdom is an incredible honor. Immortality, prestige, the most hallowed ranks of the Watchers, as well as a chance to be of service past my allotted years. But there are considerations. Come, we have flowers to gather for the dead.
Okay, but I've got questions.
Blue creepvine. This will do nicely.
Emmerich, aren't most undead just random spirits inside corpses?
Liches are different. It wouldn't be a spirit acting in my name. My true consciousness would be housed in my departed flesh.
How?
The Order must keep some secrets. Moon blossoms, famed in verse and song.
Smells like perfume. Do liches have a sense of smell?
I've been told that while some of my senses will dull, others will become available. Other than that, I can't say if the flowers would still hold their bloom for me. Lichdom serves a purpose. There are dark things in creation, threats to both our world and the Fade. The Liches of the Necropolis have the insight and the abilities to oppose them.
And you're joining them when?
Certain elements have held me back. There's no ready instructions for lichdom. The steps must be discovered on one's own over years to be fully understood.
Does the spell to become a lich kill you, or do you have to...
No, mercifully, that falls to another watcher. After my death, my soul will be drawn back into my body instead of moving on to whatever lies beyond.
So, what's holding you back from lichdom?
Even with all my preparations, there's a chance I could die permanently during the rites. What cowardice! The promise of immortality, an end to all my fears, and the final veil stays my hand.
That's reasonable. Lots of people are afraid of dying.
Is it? When it keeps me from what I most desire? Traditionally, candidates for lichdom face one final sifting of the soul. If they avoid it, you saw my old colleague.
Hezenkas? She's a lich?
A half-lich, though that hasn't diminished her powers. Until I stop her plans, I won't possess the peace of mind for lichdom. Why don't you select the next flowers, Rook?
Sure. So what's a half-lich exactly?
Johanna attempted the rites of lichdom and failed. Stuck in her in-between state, she is supremely dangerous, but can't learn any new magic.
No wonder Hezenkas was shouting so much.
Oh, she's always been that way.
What about the sifting of a soul that Hezenkas avoided?
The spirits of the necropolis judge whether a candidate is worthy of the power and responsibility of lichdom.
How'd she become a lich without it?
I shared some knowledge when we were colleagues. She apparently put together more than I knew. It would be just like her to skip the rituals, the cleansings, the preparations of the soul.
For a watcher, Hezenkas is pretty harsh on spirits.
We made allowances because of her discoveries. Too many. Spirits are not things to be disposed of.
You really care about them.
They're so susceptible to the world's whims, Rook. Some spirits are dangerous, but how quickly most respond to a bit of kindness or care, or simple attempt to understand. For all she's done, I can't condemn Johanna for attempting lichdom. That freedom from mortality, that divorce from fear. And of course, time to read all of one's books.
Every mage's dream.
But how she's abused her abilities. Are my intentions enough to fare better?
Worrying's a good sign.
We have enough flowers. There's something I'd like to show you. Here we are.
Oh, so these flowers are for...
Yes. If you could place them on the graves, please.
In memory of Rupert and Eleonora Valkarin, they walk eternity hand in hand.
After I became a watcher, I erected a proper shrine to my parents. When I come to talk, I like to think they listen. Well, don't be shy. Introduce yourself.
Rook, it's a pleasure. Do you remember your parents?
Some memories are bright. Others are akin to those dim, early morning dreams one gets sometimes. Lately, I wondered what they'd think of our current course, the choices ahead.
Your lichdom?
What would they have wanted me to be?
Happy with someone who cares for you.
Shroud's Kiss. I've always loved the legend around this flower. They say it grows on lovers' graves, and that one moves closer to the fade simply by inhaling its fragrance.
Is that true?
It is when I will it, my dear.
What else?
What a day of unexpected splendor. Rook, darling, I was thinking of spending an evening with just the two of us.
I'd like that.
Wonderful. I've made all the arrangements at the necropolis. We'll leave whenever you're ready. How did you find everything?
Best meal I've had in a graveyard.
One advantage of being senior staff is requisitioning the kitchen's better cooks.
You did that just for me?
I'd hoped the evening might impress. The amount of work on you worries me, Rook. Responsibility exacts a toll on the body.
I have been more tired lately.
More so than you might even realize. I do ask that you at least avoid putting pressure on that stiff left wrist.
It's a little stiff. Impressed you spotted it.
Well, I am familiar with the finer points of anatomy. It's good we made time for this. A couple should get to know one another in comfort.
Time to dig into our feelings?
I'd be delighted if the mood moves you.
Devastating charm aside, what do you like about me?
Apart from the compliment of your interest,
Come on.
darling, it's gratifying a fresh-faced adventurer noticed me at all. And your spirit does charm, but there's also something quite indomitable about you, Rook. It inspires.
Aw, thanks. What's your favorite color?
Well, can I only choose one?
Let me guess. Black? Green? Yellow, but like a bone yellow?
Lilac.
Of course you went into a flower.
It's such a pretty shade of purple. It brings thoughts of spring. And what's your favorite shade of color?
Rich purple. The kind you get with those really expensive dyes.
It's the color of royalty in some kingdoms.
Maybe I've got ambitions. Okay, so, Emmerich, I wanted to tell you something. You're my first anything. I've never been with anyone romantically.
We can move slowly, and I'm glad you chose me.
It's been good so far.
Oh, excellent.
Anyway, should we enjoy the garden?
Certainly. They're wondering what we're up to. Wisps are ever attracted to the gardens.
Like you?
The Fade is close here. As our spirits, I count as guides and friends. Beyond that, I feel there are mysteries past our comprehension. Something beyond the weft of magic or deepest Fade. When I'm fortunate, I spy suggestions of them here.
Like when you're out looking at stars and you stare so long you're dizzy?
Yes, the indefinable, tipping its faintest reach into ourselves.
Totally what I meant.
Sometimes, my dear, I think you indulge me.
When I'm in the mood. Hey, Rook. Quite a collection, huh?
Is that Zara Renata? This place isn't big enough to keep every corpse you guys find.
Zara spoke to Ilario before she died. Emmerich can talk to the dead. I have to know.
I wouldn't have offered my skills if I thought it was unsafe. Let flame rekindle your sight. Let breath and light rise again. Tell us about Ilario della Morte.
Martyrs. He fooled us both.
Elaborate.
You took what he wanted most in this world. More than coin, pleasure, family.
The title of First Talon.
If that's what he wanted, why imprison you? Why not just kill you? No offense.
It's a fair question.
Death was the original plan. But this one doesn't waste those with potential.
And Katerina? Did Ilario hire you to kill her?
No.
Ilario used blood magic to control Spite. How? He's not a mage.
Our risen god gives many gifts.
Elgarnon? Ilario's working with Elgarnon?
Her spirit strong. Haste would be appreciated.
Let her go. We've heard enough.
Wow. That was pretty damning.
Ilario has much to answer for.
In blood, if nothing else.
What are you going to do?
Take away everything from him.
I hope it comforted Nev to see the dragon that ravaged Minrathous brought low.
Is that Zara Renata? This place isn't big enough to keep every corpse you guys find.
Zara spoke to Ilario before she died. Emmerich can talk to the dead. I have to know.
I wouldn't have offered my skills if I thought it was unsafe. Let flame rekindle your sight. Let breath and light rise again. Tell us about Ilario della Morte.
Martyrs. He fooled us both.
Elaborate.
You took what he wanted most in this world. More than coin, pleasure, family.
title of First Talon.
If that's what he wanted, why imprison you? Why not just kill you? No offense.
It's a fair question.
Death was the original plan. But this one doesn't waste those with potential.
And Katerina? Did Ilario hire you to kill her?
Ilario used blood magic to control Spite. How? He's not a mage.
Our risen god gives many gifts.
Elgernon? Ilario's working with Elgernon?
Her spirit strong. Haste would be appreciated.
Let her go. We've heard enough.
Well, that was pretty damning.
Ilario has much to answer for.
In blood, if nothing else.
What are you going to do?
Take away everything from him.
What are you doing?
The wisps are drawn to something around here. The boxes are baited with notes, baubles, things they steal.
Maybe they're drawn to you.
They've been seen here when I'm not. There's more to it.
I could use a break, if you need extra eyes.
Knock yourself out.
Riveting case we've got here.
I follow the leads I've got. What? You don't like a good stakeout?
Maybe, if it comes with the story.
You got something in mind?
All right, best stakeout. Go.
I once spent 9 days in a cramped attic keeping tabs on a suspect. He was posing as an Olesian street mime.
That's your best stakeout?
You know, his show wasn't half bad. Plus, the attic was over a bakery. Best pie in Voldormer.
Can wisps measure up?
Got something.
We're that good.
Empty.
We're still good.
Well, he did worse than just try to kill me.
Really?
The guy stiffed me on the job. Those were good potions I used. Expensive, too.
Right, that makes sense.
How's it going over here?
It's okay. You know.
You can take my seat, Rook. I was just leaving. Belle, swing by when you get a chance. I found another set of papers for you.
Thanks, Nev. That's nice. Sorry, Rook. Not great company right now.
That's what worries me, Balara. You're not yourself. And yourself is kind of important to me.
That's nice of you. Really. But I don't know if I should be important to you.
Come on, that's ridiculous.
Is it? When Norris asked me to join him, to join Syrian, part of me wanted to. Not a big part, but a part. I mean, before all of this, Syrian and I were the same. Inquisitive, driven, pushing ourselves. The search for the Nadister Thalin, the archive, that was both of us, working together. I want to say I'll keep saying no, keep turning him down, but he's my brother. What keeps me from doing what he did?
You're not Syrian, Balara. You're you.
And what if that's not good enough?
Then keep your evil to off hours. Replace Lucanus's coffee beans with hot peppers. Buy Nev a bag of wisp food. Hide Tasha's snacks.
You're not very good at being evil.
I'll work on it. I'm kind of making this up as I go.
Our team motto, pretty much.
Let's paint that on the side of the lighthouse.
I'm sure Solus would love that.
You good?
I am. Thank you, Rook. It means a lot that you care. I'll, see you later.
Rook, if I could, I want. Forgive me. I'm not certain what I wish to say.
Rook, something's come up. Evka dug around and found us someone who knows more about the Gloomhowler.
Anything useful?
Our new friend wants to talk in person. Figured you'd want to come along for this one.
Hey, good. I wanted to ask you something. My mother and I have a weekly dinner thing. I was gonna meet her in Ravane. Wanna come? Fresh food. And I want her to know you're good to work with. Sure.
You're late. And you brought a guest.
I hope I'm not putting you out.
No, this is Tasha's home as much as mine, even if she does not visit very often.
I don't smell the Iskop. We always have Iskop on Tuesdays.
I am not yet finished with my studies. I thought you would help me tonight.
And by help, you mean do it all. You haven't even chopped the melons.
You swing axes all day. Do you lack the strength to chop a few melons? The runes on the tablet are written in the old Kunari tongue, but they are incomplete.
So they never finished it?
No. It is clearly finished, but parts of letters have been hidden somehow, rendering the tablet unreadable.
What if it's got some kind of secret code so that only the right people can read it?
That is unlikely. I have studied the first expedition for decades. I have never seen the writing encoded.
What do you mean, the first expedition?
Your history teaches that Kunari landed on Thedas 300 years ago, in the Steel Age. This is true, but incomplete. Almost 1,000 years earlier, the first expedition came only to vanish. They were Kunari who predated the Qun itself. That is what I study.
Here, food's ready.
This is not Iskap.
Wasn't feeling like Iskop. We're in Ravane. Might as well eat like it.
I see.
The new bookshelf should be here next week. Got him for you with some of the gold from the dragon.
You need not trouble yourself. My studies are clearly of little importance.
Okay? Bye. Thanks for coming. She used she. You haven't told her yet. I was going to. Then we got here and she was like that. You should be able to be yourself around her. Huh. Hey, you get to be who you are. I know. I'll tell her. When you're ready. On your terms. Thanks. Hey, remember the dragon we were talking about with the lords? Which one? There were a few in that conversation. The fire breather that was killing people. Veil Jumpers sent word. She's in Arlathan Forest. Destroyed a village and turned it into her new lair. I've got the location from the Veil Jumpers. We can go whenever you want.
How many of these dead Titans underground are we talking?
Many. I don't know exactly. Why?
I knew some older wardens that said they'd seen parts of them in the deep roads, but no one was really sure.
They look like part of the rock. It's hard to see unless you know what you're looking for.
Which is...
I don't know. I just know it feels different.
Fair enough. Grey Wardens go through the same thing sensing Darkspawn.
How long did it take you to get used to it?
I never did.
Rook, you're here.
Is something wrong?
Biago and Dea sent word. They have information about Ilario. Whatever it is, they wish to speak away from Treviso, away from anyone who might be listening. They won't put more to paper. I need to meet with them as soon as possible.
I can't believe how many people they executed.
Why don't you care about us?